Do you want to know how to lead your family when the world feels upside down? I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach all over the world about parenting, good communication, how to build strong family bonds, child development, and education, all through the lens of the principle self-government. And in this video, we're talking about the ways that you can lead the family when the world feels topsy-turvy. Does it ever feel like everything you believe is under attack? I know I've felt that before. The world is crazy right now. How do we raise strong children and lead them in a world that feels so counter to what we want to do in our homes? There is hope. We can lead our children. In this video, we're going to be talking about what you can set up in your family, a framework, so that you can lead your children no matter what's going on outside. The number one thing that you can do when you are trying to lead your family in the midst of social, governmental confusion is stick to your principles. You need a foundation. You need a rock to build upon, and so do they. If you shift with the winds or with the tides, just like everybody is doing, and affirm every single thing that's being said in society and culture, everyone becomes lost. And I'll tell you what, there is proof that so many people are lost right now. Have you seen the mental health problems, the mental health crisis that our young people are in right now? Have you seen the anxiety, the depression, the self-harm, the self-loathing, the detachment from parents? Have you seen those things? It's because they're lost. Sure, some of it's taught, some of it's encouraged online, but a lot of it is just like confusion and stress and not sure know what to do next. They're not being led or taught. Instead, they're just being affirmed. And when you're affirmed in absolutely everything you think or believe, it's actually not useful. It can even be counterproductive to your psyche. So I teach self-government. That's what this channel is all about. What is self-government? Self-government is being able to determine the cause and effect of any given situation and possessing a knowledge of your own behaviors so that you can control them. So that means you understand cause and effect as it relates to yourself, your behaviors, your relationships, and then you analyze yourself regularly and you make the changes you need so that you are the most successful. Do you know how rare that is? It's absolutely unusual. When a person does that, when they self-govern, they're more free than all the other people around them. That's actually the key thing that you need to survive in a world that feels like it's turned upside down. You need the freedom that comes from knowing that you have a choice about the way you're going to feel, the way you're going to act, and what you're going to think, no matter what happens around you. Years ago, I took in treatment children. They were all between the ages of 12 and 18, and I was a therapeutic treatment care parent for troubled teens. Some of the behaviors were extreme. I'd never seen some of the behaviors before, but that didn't matter because I was prepared. I'd planned ahead of time about my own calmness and how I would keep myself calm and okay. I planned for what I would teach them. I planned for how we would check up on that teaching, and I also planned that I would be consistent in the teaching. I taught them certain skills that they would need for success. And do you know what? They actually did it. It was because of the success that those youth had coming to my home that we were then asked to be on various television programs. Even the BBC asked us to be on a program called The World's Strictest Parents. It became the most watched episode they'd ever had because our family was so calm and united despite what problems the children that they brought to our home had. We were secure and confident because we had a plan. So there are a lot of videos on this channel where I talk about skills of self-government, like the 4 basic skills, like following instructions, accepting no answers, accepting consequences, and disagreeing appropriately. But in this video, I'd like to focus on something else. One key thing that we can do as a family is make sure that we meet together often and that we prioritize our time together. We need to have regular family meetings. Do you know the power of the family dinner? People don't even have family dinners anymore. I even have to remind myself to have family dinners sometimes because life gets moving so fast. But there is power in the family dinner. Sitting down and breaking bread with people you love, talking with them, slowing down for just a minute to show them that family is that important and that we always have time to talk and connect with each other. If we do that on a daily basis, that makes a huge difference. What about if we took it a step further and had regular family activities together as a group? What if we set aside one evening a week or one morning a week just to do family activities together so that we could strengthen our relationships? Maybe sometimes we'd play together, maybe sometimes we'd work together, but it was always something that we did together. That would make a difference in our relationships too. And what if we set aside a special time just to talk about problems that we see in the family and come up with solutions as a group? So it's not just one person telling everybody what to do all the time, but instead everyone's leading out in the group. It's actually better if everyone's leading out. Can we just understand leadership for a second? When a person is a leader, it's not because they're bossing everybody else, it's because they're serving everyone else and showing everyone else how to succeed. They are setting the example, and they're giving wisdom and instruction as needed as well. They're honoring their role and the other people's roles around them. That needs to happen in a family. Did you know the role of every child is a learner? If you don't do the teaching, you're not honoring the role. And if they don't learn from the teacher, they're not honoring your role either. Either way, you would have dysfunction. So when we get together as a family in our weekly family meeting, this creates a pattern for our lives. We talk about what type of a family we're trying to become and how we feel like we're doing on that journey. We discuss the family calendar together. We praise the family and talk about things that we want to accomplish as a group. And then we talk about the problems that need fixing. Now, these family meetings are 20 minutes long. Tops. So I've written 11 books all about self-government. Some of them help you right in the moment. Some of them give you the lay of the land and all the skills that you need. This book here, the Family Meeting Journal, is a journal where you can keep track of your family meeting notes. So you get together once a week, you time the meetings, you each take turns leading the meetings. Even children that don't write yet can lead the meetings and somebody else can write for them. They just have to know what to say. Then they talk about the announcements that the family has. So that's going to be your family schedule. That cannot take longer than 10 minutes. Then you talk about the problems that you need to solve, or maybe hopes and plans you want to make as a family. Maybe you want a special family activity or a family trip. Maybe you want to do a service project or help grandma in some way. Or maybe there is a troubling behavior that is getting in the way of family unity and you need to discuss it and come up with a positive or negative consequence to handle it. This is where you do that, and you vote on those decisions you make for your family. You talk about how to make the family more calm, efficient, pleasant, and show concern for the family members. These family meetings are golden. When we have the family meetings in our family, everything is different. When I was raising my children, if we ever were feeling like we were getting a little bit more selfish, people were getting distracted, too busy, then we would say, we need to have a family meeting. Now, ideally, you have them once a week. You can have them every day if you want, but ideally once a week. If we weren't having it once a week, we started noticing things falling apart. That was a sign for us to pull back in and have those family meetings again. There are so many things that you can do to lead your family when the world feels like it's closing in on you or turning upside down. But the biggest thing is be deliberate. Be deliberate in your principles. Be deliberate in your skills. Be deliberate in your calmness and your tone. And be deliberate in your communication about what you're really doing together as a group. The person who is the most deliberate, the person who talks about the most with the family, is the one who will have the greatest influence. That means don't let the media be the primary influence in your family's life too. Talk with each other, do things together, plan time together, and you will be able to lead your family no matter what's going on around you. We're just getting started. My next video is how to anchor your family in truth, love, and calm. That's going to give you more information for how you can bring that feeling of calmness and truth and increased love into your family. Go to that video next.